We're heading to Vault City and another one of their modern sour beers. This now is in conjunction with Amity, and this is Fruits of the Forest, Chocolate, Honeycomb and Vanilla. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today, Vault City calls from Edinburgh, and also this one though is a collaboration with Amity Brew. It's a 5.8% modern sour beer, Fruits of the Forest, Chocolate, Honeycomb and Vanilla. There's a lot to unpack in here. So we've got Fruits of the Forest, so your blackberries, your blueberries, that sort of stuff, chocolate, honeycomb, vanilla, all in a sour beer. Sounds pretty interesting, but let's crack it open. Lovely looking artwork on this as well. Let's crack it open, get it in glass and see what it's all about. I've had this one sitting in the fridge for quite a while actually, before Christmas, and just wanted to find the right time to drink it. Pouring it out though, I mean this looks like a Vimto. Not really, I mean I suppose Fruits of the Forest expected to be dark in colour, but with the chocolate and the vanilla, I mean interesting colour, but this is a bright pink, almost crimson colour, two fingers, fairly compacted head, and that head colour, it's going a little bit white with the light here, but that is a very pink colour. You can see it close up. It's a very pink head with a very bright blood red almost colour. Looks pretty good. Let's see what it smells like. Oh, it smells brilliant. Well, I expected it to be really sort of, you know, rid of that fruit, the black forest, the fruit aroma, and the other stuff would probably not be would be in the background. But as soon as you put it to the nose, honeycomb, woof, big waves of honeycomb aroma. I mean, we've had sort of stouts with honeycomb in, but this is very sort of strong honeycomb. It smells like a crunchy bar. We've got the fruit in there as well, but it's a red fruit. It's difficult to pick out blackberry or blackcurrant or any of those sort of fruits. As I say, it's that sweetness. You get that the honeycomb, and then you are getting something else in there, the vanilla-y, chocolatey aroma. Oh, it smells really good. Let's hope it tastes as good as it smells. Cheers, everyone. In the flavour you get much more of the fruit. So you're getting those sort of red currants and raspberry and blackcurrant and blackberry, those flavours coming through. The honeycomb is a little bit more subtle, but it is there. But the aftertaste, you're getting all that fruit up front, but then you get the chocolate. I mean, actually, when you think about it, it is like a Black Forest Ghetto, the chocolatey sort of berries, vanilla, the cream of the vanilla. It's a nice little bit of sourness there as well. A lot of Vault City's modern sours, and the main reason why I like them so much, is they're not that lip puckering sort of sourness. It's there, there's a bit of sourness there, there's a little bit of that sort of tartness on the back end. But there's a lot of flavours, there's a lot of complexity. And again, in the hands of any other brewer, it'd probably be a right mess. But Vault City, they're doing it again, along with Amity. I don't know how Amity are involved exactly, but there's a lot of those red currants and black currants and blackberries up front. There's sort of slight waves or pockets of that sort of chocolatey vanilla flavour. The honeycomb is a lot less in the mix, in the flavour. Definitely was in the aroma, but less so in the flavour. It's difficult to pick it out because that sour taste on the back of your mouth and all that fruit flavours is overpowering a little bit. The chocolate and the vanilla, more the chocolate, is just sort of eking through. In terms of its body, it's fairly light, and it's a little bit, I don't know where it's the sourness, because there's a lot more sour in this beer than there is in a lot of Vault Cities. That sourness sort of makes you think, or is that the fizziness of carbonation? Because you think, when I think of sour flavours, I think of those Sour Patch and the Tangfastic sweets, which are obviously all that sugar and stuff on it, has a sort of fizz about it, really. And so it's difficult to sort of mix that with this, is that the carbonation in this, or is it just that sour flavour that I'm getting? It's not bad. It's a little thin for me, and the fruits are a little bit more up front. I mean, from the aroma, if it tastes like the aroma, then it would have been a lot more, it would have been better balanced. But for me, too much of that sort of sweetness and needs a bit more body. It's only 5.8%, so for a sour beer, I'd say that's fairly low. If it was kicking 7-8%, then maybe you get a bit more body. And with that body, you might get a little bit more creaminess, and then you might get more of that vanilla flavour coming through. But at the moment, you get more of the sort of all those fruits of the forest. What are fruits of the forest? I'm sure they're black currants and blackberries. Does it say on here? Oh yeah, it says blueberry, black currants, and that sort of stuff. There is that sweetness of chocolate. It's almost, it's not right, because you get all this fruit, and it looks like a fruit beer. You're not expecting chocolate, but the chocolate is just sitting there right in the background. I don't know how they do it. How you get all that fruit and then suddenly, oh, there's a little bit of chocolate come through. Very well done. But I probably would have liked a little bit more of that creaminess coming in. Take away a little bit of the sourness. Maybe a bit more of a sort of biscuitiness to get some of that caramel and the honeycomb sort of flavour and the vanilla flavour. Because they're the ones that are lost in the mix. The aroma was there with those, but flavour not quite there. But it's still good. It's still, you know what? I know I say a lot of my reviews. I know it's the word that I use a lot. Interesting, but this is an interesting beer. It's got so much going on. You think it's gonna not, something's gonna miss out, but you are getting all those flavours. You are getting the aromas of these ingredients, and it just works really well. It's unlike any other sort of sour beer. It's got that sourness. There's more sour in this beer than there is in most Vault Cities, but it's just a little bit missing the mark a little bit. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe it's just I'm not into fruits of the forest, or it's just the fact that it's trying to bounce fruit and chocolate and vanilla and honeycomb together, and that is a really difficult thing to do well. But again, I'll say it once, and I'll say it again. If you're looking for a modern sour beer, or a sour beer, whether it's a modern one or a sour beer anyway, you must try Vault City. If you don't like sour beers, or you don't like the sound of what sour beers are all around about, you should still try Vault City, because I just think they're just such a step above anyone else. I mean, I've had some good sours from some other breweries. Overtone did a good one. There are some out there, but consistently Vault City are good, and I'm always interested to see what they're going to come up with next. And this is, again, it's a good Vault City, but I don't think it's a great Vault City. But I've rattled on enough, so let's get some scores. And until then, you know what you're going to do. Keep on rocking, folks. Okay, the scores are in for this Vault City Fruits of the Forest Chocolate Vanilla Honeycomb Modern Sour Beer. There's a lot going on in this beer. It's 5.8%, a little low on the ABV for a sour beer, but it's still good. It's still got all those flavours in there. There's nothing really missing. Some are bigger than others, but still not bad. And I think, the other thing I'd say is that most Vault City cans, they're not going to, write home about the artwork on them. But this is a little bit more interesting, a bit more colourful and spectacular. So heads up to that. And obviously this is a collaboration with Amity Brewing. So I'm not sure who did what on this, but it's very much trademark Vault City. So let's go for the scores. Aroma. appearance, flavour, value for money. This one wasn't too bad, under £5. Overall experience, and that gives a recommended total score, not as high as some of the scores that we've had from Vault City, certainly not in the 80s or 90s, but still a recommended